From the MDR studios in Davenport, Iowa, Quad Cities, you're listening to Minor Disturbance Radio. About all things that rock and some that suck. Minor Disturbance Radio, episode 74. I'm Brian Minor. Of course, Travis is here, like always. Yeah. And I promised you guys all week long that we would have the mighty 1152 in the studio. And they are all here. Guys, introduce yourselves.
I'm Nickel.
Mike.
Dusty.
Eric.
All right. Now, Eric, he's got the big mic. He's actually got the co-host mic tonight. So he's planning on doing a lot of talking for the band, right?
Sure, yeah. We'll see how that works out.
Because the last time you were on, you said that you said a lot of stuff you didn't want to say.
Maybe that's some stuff I didn't want to say, but just a little too much talking.
Yeah.
That was...
Is he sweating?
Are you sweating? Back channeling? Are you back channeling?
No. I'm totally cool. I mean, I may be a little like... Yeah. I may smell kind of garbagey. I've been at work all day, but, you know.
You're a hard guy to read. I mean, I've known Dusty for a while, and Mike, he's super cool. I can't tell if you want to fight me or if you want to be on the show sometimes.
No,
you look dangerous.
Both.
It's the bandana, I think.
I mean, you might be right.
Should I take the bandana off?
No, you look cool as fuck.
Well...
It's a radio show.
Yeah.
fucking
Well, for the podcast, because I said episode 74. So we're doing a podcast tonight and a radio show. Yeah. So this is Minor Disturbance Radio on 97X as well. I probably should have said 97X at the beginning.
Yeah. Minor Disturbance Radio.
I'll cut that in later.
Yeah.
But we've got all the boys from 1152 here. And Mike, you're sporting what looks to be a man bun. What's going on here?
Yeah, finally grew enough hair to get in with the hippie crowd.
It's weird.
I got it.
That's weird.
So
it's been a long time coming.
That's just so they can accept you. That's so they'll accept you on the disc golf green, isn't it? That is what it's all about. You're just keeping up with the Joneses in a completely different musical crowd that happens to play that sport.
They hate me because I take showers.
Ooh.
Well, we talked last time, Mike. I had you on when we were on at midnight on Fridays. Mm-hmm. When we were, we were so special. They put us on at midnight on 97X. But I had you on by yourself, and you were talking about how you guys were having a competition about who was gonna. Neither one of you were gonna cut your hair until.
Well, the bet is as soon as you could get it all up in a ponytail or a man bun, it can never be shorter than that. Oh. So now we're both there.
All right.
So
it'll go. Mine will go up there.
It'll go up in a ponytail?
Oh, yeah.
And it'll never be shorter than that.
Nope.
It'll 100% go up.
He's going to lose. Yeah. He's going to cut his hair before I do.
What's funny is Dusty's sitting there laughing at all you guys because he used to have longer hair than all of us. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now he's bald.
Mm-hmm. As
he taketh away.
Can be.
Yeah.
Is that a choice or did it just go?
Oh, it was gone long ago, man.
Yeah.
Long ago.
But you're one of the few people I know, and I'm old school though, I'm 44 years old, so you're one of the only people I know though that rocks harder than any long hair I've ever seen with a bald head.
Right on, man.
It's cool. I don't know.
It's because of all the practice when I had hair just like yours.
It makes me want to shave my head, but it wouldn't be the same. I'd just be really weird looking. like Travis.
But it's weird though, because there's no follow through, you know what I mean? There's no whip action, you know what I mean?
It's very robotic.
It's just your head.
And there's also
it's just your head.
Yeah. And let me tell you, there's also there's no 20 minutes in the shower with conditioner and a brush trying to get the knots out of it the next day after a gig either.
That's true.
No. Well, that's his back hair.
Yeah. Yep. It's after me and Mike wrestle.
I can kind of tell where this show is going to go, boys.
Is it okay if I leave now?
Yeah. Okay, you guys have been really busy lately recording your new record. Entitled Typical Type.
The Typical Type,
sorry. Mm-hmm. Don't walk out, guys. I know that your management says if I say it wrong, you're out. But no, you've been really busy recording your new record, The Typical Type. And I got to tell you, me for one, I cannot wait to hear this record because the last two have been stellar. And we've been playing the crap out of it on MDR too. So
Yeah. You guys have a real winning streak going on the top local hits.
Right on.
How do you feel about that?
We appreciate that very much. Yeah. Everyone that votes,
feel like winners.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that it's a popularity contest. And, I think that we're going on 9 years.
Yeah,
I think we have a pretty good fan base.
Well, you would either attract people to you or just alienate them over 9 years. So it's good to know that you're moving in the right direction. Yeah.
So when is the last time you guys played a show then?
Was that last weekend?
Last weekend in
Oh.
Muscatine.
Okay. So
Okay.
you guys, are you going to start hitting it again?
Mm-hmm.
Playing a lot of shows?
Yeah. After the CD comes out. Yep.
Okay. And do you have a release date?
September 30th.
Wow.
At Rascals Live.
That's your release party.
Yes.
Okay.
That is also our release date.
Oh,
That's when
right.
So people won't be able to get the disc before that disc.
Correct.
Listen to me. Such an
it's
old
gonna be-
man.
it's gonna
you
be
are
on
gonna
disc.
do. You are gonna make it on disc.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. It's
And then,
quaint.
it'll be on iTunes and other
right.
Would you-
all the
Streaming
all
media,
all the media,
yeah.
it'll be there.
Right.
Yeah.
It'll be there. Yep.
Paper song. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I think that we should get right into doing what I've been promising the listeners. And you said that we could either do, you said we could definitely do one tune, but then when you got here, we decided if we had the mastered version of this other tune, we could play it as well.
That's right. Yep.
And we might do two brand new, never heard before 1152 songs off of the typical type. And let's do that now. I think that we should spin
Let's do
that
it.
immediately, just so that if there's people listening that haven't heard of 1152, they'll be introduced the right way. So let's do this. Which one do you want to play first?
Hearts of Gold.
Hearts of Gold. This is off typical type, and this is 1152.
The typical type.
God damn it. This is off of 11. This is the mighty 1152. This is a song off their new CD, The Typical Type. This is
Hearts of Gold.
Hearts of Gold.
Never the
The mighty.
Edit.
The mighty 1152 with Hearts of Gold off their new CD, The Typical Type. And I gotta say, it's just as slamming as I thought it was going to be.
Well, right on, man.
I love it. You guys, we were talking while that was playing. You said you used real amps. Because I remember when you were recording it, you were deciding whether you were going to switch amps and kind of farm out sounds. But you end up using your stage gear that you use anyway, which is brilliant because that way you can emulate the sound when you play live.
Well, yeah, there's that. I mean, and to me, your recording should be the sound of your band. You know what I mean? That's what it should be, especially if you're playing rock. You know, if you're doing
going for.
Yeah, if you're doing something that's more pop driven, then obviously then you go in directions. But you want your recording to sound like your band. I mean, honestly, my favorite stuff I've ever heard from you guys has been live. Really,
we appreciate that.
Really and truly, like the best sound that I've heard from you guys is live. So if you can capture that in your recordings, then you're doing something great.
And to me, it sounded like they did.
Yeah.
They were successful because that sounded quieter than the live 1152.
Oh.
But it had a bigness to it because 1152 live, like I've said before, is a beast all in of itself. I mean, that's something that you have to witness because if you don't see them live, you'll never really fully hear 1152.
I agree.
And what's cool about it is you were telling me that you guys did one take through on that. So you guys took, for the guitars and bass and drums.
Yeah. I mean, I can give you a brief rundown. Basically, a year and a half ago, we sent Eric into the studio, and Eric captured all 10 songs.
Eric is the drummer. He
spent, a night setting up a kit and miking it, and then the next day, in about 5 hours, he had 10 songs done.
Amazing.
Which is really, really awesome.
He basically took each song.
But you know how they go, though. I mean, that's the thing. Like,
He doesn't even need us.
You don't. Yeah, you can play these songs all the way through, beginning to end. You know what each of your parts are that you're going to do, and you can play them without accompaniment.
Yeah.
He does it to just a click.
Just click track.
Yeah, there's been times we've just turned guitar off.
Right.
I've just played, just from memory of, knowing my parts and what I'm supposed to play. And
what's your? Everybody has one. What's your emotional relationship with the click track?
When we first started doing it and recording and things like that, I always hated a click, but I've always kind of tried to pride myself on being the type of drummer that, I've never been like the fastest or the best or whatever, but I've always just tried to stay in a pocket with a band. So
that's always what I appreciated about your drumming the most.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So when we first, as a kid, recording and with different bands and just, kind of little crappy CDs that you do, you don't use a click or anything like that. You just kind of go in and do it, but
yeah. You may not even know all your parts exactly.
Right. When you get serious and you're in a band that's serious and you really want things to sound good, then, you'll put a click in there. So getting used to it was, a little different, but, it took a little bit of time there was kind of some hiccups every now and then of, falling off of it. But, once you get it and you're there and you're,
Let me explain what a click track is, because there might be some listeners that have no idea. And what a click track is basically a metronome that's piping through your headphones that's going click, 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 and it's feeding you the tempo of the song, and you have to drum to that. And sometimes when you do fills, you could fall off of the tempo of the song, and then the whole song's kind of off, and it keeps you locked into the perfect timing of the song. And great drummers have a difficult time with that. And for somebody it takes a while for a drummer to get used to doing clicks, and that's what makes a drummer a true professional. That's the graduation that drummers have to go if they're going to be in a successful band and be a professional. They have to learn how to do that. And it's good that you figured it out, because I know a lot of drummers that are like, nope, I ain't playing no click.
Nope. It's a liar.
It's a liar. It's lying to me. I can hear it speeding up. I can hear it slowing down.
Yep.
Yeah, because when you play, and everybody who's ever played with a metronome knows that when you're playing finer subdivisions of notes, more notes per click, it seems like the metronome slows down, and when you're playing long notes, it seems like the metronome speeds up.
Now, do you do that live? Do you look at any kind of timekeeper live?
No.
Have you ever just taken off and Dusty turns around and is like, bring it down, buddy?
No, we just go with whatever he goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's really, really fast. Sometimes.
Yeah, trust me, I've been there. I've been there. You know, my drummer in Drop Hammer used to show up to practice and gigs with a 2-liter bottle of Jolt. Do you remember what that was?
Oh God.
Jolt. That was the back in the day energy drink that we had. It was like twice the caffeine as Mountain Dew. And he would drink that thing, and we would be fine at practice. We'd be cool. But then when we hit the stage, I'm telling you, it was twice the speed it should have been, and he thought he was playing it slow.
Yeah.
He's like, sorry, I was playing slow tonight, guys. I was like, my fingers fell off trying to do the riffs. Seems like, and we had a 40-minute set to do, and we were done in 20 minutes. And, you know what I mean? We're like, what happened?
I think you need to quit eating boner pills like fucking after dinner mints.
Well, there's times, you know, where it's not intentional, you know. It's
excitement.
You're excited.
Yeah.
You're pumped up, and you're ready to slam and throw down. And
well, I was right there too, man, because I play guitar and I had to intro riff stuff. You know, like there's some riffs that I have to start the song out with, and then Terry's telling me, you know, my drummer and everybody's like, slow it down. What's wrong? And we're all high on Mountain Dew and everything. So you know, and if there's a
you know, when you're playing in your church praise band, fucking weirdo. No, I was gonna ask you, do you do any tempo mapping, or do you you did? Okay, so you didn't choose a single tempo and stick with it. There would be places where you knew that to get it to feel right, you had to speed up, slow down.
If you want to get real technical in Hearts of Gold, there is a tempo change in the middle of the song, and
it's not by much though.
No, it's not by much.
Yeah,
the feel is pretty similar, but it is a different tempo, and that took us a while in the studio because
Yeah,
we always
figure
just
that
played
out.
it how we felt at practice, and then when it was the actual hard data, it was like. That's wrong.
It is wrong.
So I've been listening to and watching 1152 for probably, I don't know, 6 years now.
Probably.
It's probably
at least.
Yeah. And
how long have you been beating off to them?
For the last 6 years.
Edit.
See, Travis don't have to fucking deal with this. He doesn't have to go back and like chop, cut, ding it out, fucking drag it over.
Hey, slap chop!
And the whole time I'm sitting here like, Jesus, Travis, god damn it, cutting the part out, throwing out. So, and I just did it to myself. But that's one big block I can just chop right out, except for the podcast listeners. But I've been paying attention to 1152 for a long time, and the nuts and bolts of the band switched a little bit because Nickel, you are now the new bass player.
I am.
And 1152. Now, I was a fan of Steve Sparks. I thought that he was a great bass player, and I got to see you for the first time play live with the band, and I didn't see any holes in the game. I thought that it was going to lose something with Steve Sparks being gone, and it didn't. You're a different type of player. You're more finessey. I would think you're more of like a, you know, your bass is up higher. You kind of you can do more technical stuff.
Right.
You know, I would say.
That's
the way I took it.
I was going to say that you're not so much just the way you ring the strings, which I would think of, you know, as being the category of finesse, but I thought you were a more harmonic player, that you have a tendency to play more than one note at times, and you have more of a tendency to play notes against what the band is playing, as opposed to just playing the lowest note.
I would like to know what happened. I'm sorry. You could,
go ahead. I lost what I was going to say.
I mean, am I wrong about that?
No.
What happened with Steve Sparks then? Did he quit the band?
No.
All right. Did
Steve was fired from this band?
All right. Can you tell me why?
No, I don't think we. No.
Okay.
No.
I figured that would be the answer I got.
He made some choices that weren't kosher with us.
Okay.
Then that's it.
The one thing I want to say though about it,
okay,
I definitely want to say, we were asked, and obviously not Nickel because Nickel wasn't in the band yet. Sorry, Nickel, to exclude you, but we were asked to keep the reasons that Steve was fired on the down low by Steve himself.
Okay.
To retain his reputation. Right? That's
Correct.
a fact,
yes,
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Well, that's honorable.
And then, so it was very disappointing to me to then hear that after that conversation happened, that he was going around giving reasons that weren't true, which put us in a bad light.
Right.
So I will still, and we will still take that high road and not say why we fired him, because I think that is a bigger and better dig if somebody needs digging, which I think they do
sometimes,
little bit.
yeah,
right,
yeah.
Then to get on here and be like, well, I'm going to tell you exactly the whole story. Here's all the detail. Yeah.
I was hoping it was kind of like a thing where he just kind of like, I'm going to focus on my kids or something like that, or things move on in life.
That's
okay,
what he did.
but Nickel, when you came into the band, then I mean, I wished when they needed a bass player that I could play bass, because Steve lost a great gig, and I was thinking, oh man, when they get a new bass player, that's going to be a lucky kid. I mean, it's going to be a lucky guy to get to play in that band, because you guys already had a huge footprint. And
but there's us. You have to deal with us.
Yeah, I can handle you guys, no problem. But the key was for you to lock in with the drummer.
Yep.
So I mean, how did that? Was it really kind of up to you then to pick the bass player?
The thing with me, the big thing with me with bringing a new bass player in was that we had people that wanted to audition that weren't bass players, that wanted to just do it because of who we were and kind of the little bit of success that we've had as a band. I wanted someone to come in that knew nothing about us, knew nothing about who we were. Nickel knew nothing of the band,
Well, where are you from, Mars?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
No,
you're from here though, right?
Right, I'm from the Quad Cities.
And you knew nothing of 1152.
Well, I've heard of them, but I wasn't like a follower. Like, I've been out of the music scene for quite a while,
I see.
Raising my family, and about a year ago I decided to get back in, and I was in a side project, and the guitar player for that side project, said, "Hey, you should audition for 1152."
And you said 1150 who?
Yeah, no, I didn't say that. I was, I've heard of them, and so I hit him up on Facebook, I think it was, and
well, congratulations! I'm glad to see the band back to being a solid entity again, because I know I was worried for you guys, just because I know that when you get a band with that kind of chemistry and it changes, you're very fortunate that the chemistry continues.
Absolutely. I mean, some of that, whether a band is capable of repeatedly getting lucky with chemistry, does definitely have to do with what the other components that are to be mixed with actually are. There are some strengths that bands have that make it a little bit more fertile ground for newcomers to come in and be able to do something great. And I think that speaks to your professional integrity and your instrumental skill. Your ability to make it so that somebody could come in and not be working with nothing, either interpersonally or musically, So that's really cool.
Right on, man.
That's really cool. Congratulations.
Thank you, Travis.
I congratulate you, but congratulations to you guys too,
Well,
because you could have not found somebody,
Right.
And he fit well.
Yeah, and he fit well, yeah.
And that was the thing, I knew.
Yeah.
The minute that he came in, we threw like both EPs at him and was like, hey, learn as much as you can in like a week.
Yeah.
And he learned all of one and like half of the other one, and came in, and it
wasn't even a week.
Right.
But it felt right. Like I've explained it before, there was a point in time where this band had a fire that was like uncontrollable, and we felt on fire as a band. And it kind of fizzled out a little bit. And
well, what caused it to fizzle out?
I think just, stuff inside the band, things with, with losing Steve and things like that.
Okay, I thought you meant back when Steve was still in the band. You felt like it was
kind of while he was still there.
Some of that too, yeah.
It had to have been. That shit doesn't happen in a vacuum. I mean, that shit doesn't come out of pure nothing nowhere.
But what I'm saying is like, when Nickel joined the band, it was, it was like it all just exploded again, and it all felt really good, and it just worked, It just I knew.
We're still riding that too.
Well,
I knew when he came in.
You could have done the Metallica thing and had Loader play bass for you for a while.
Yeah, dude.
What's that album called? Saint Anger?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or Bob Rock.
Yeah. But Nickel, when you were learning the songs, and you had said that you've never even you've heard of them, but you didn't know of them. You didn't follow them. So what songs, when you were learning these songs, what were the songs that really were like, I got to get in this band? That you couldn't wait to play.
Man,
he didn't like any of
Yeah,
these.
actually, I was like, man, these guys suck. But I think The Company, Bullet, definitely. Those ones really hit hard.
He stepped outside the box on Plus My Finger quite a bit.
Yeah.
When he was first auditioning, he threw some stuff in there that was like, hey.
Well, let's talk about Plus My Finger. What in the hell does that mean, Plus My Finger?
Oh, man. It's a funny
that's
story.
hard.
That's a funny story, man.
Well,
I looked at my fingers.
Yeah, you did. You still got it.
Still got it.
I kind of have an idea what it might be about.
This
but
is the finger.
It was that finger right
That
there?
one right
okay.
there. Yep. It's
Hey, if you're gonna write them in your titles, man, you're gonna get asked this shit.
I gotta keep this really vague. I have to. But we were playing a show, and somebody in another band was complaining a bunch about one thing or another. And so after the show, we were all hanging out, and I had just had surgery on this finger, like 2 days before that show. And it was all stitched up and gross. And I played the whole show without using that finger.
Right.
I used just these three.
Yeah.
At
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It was a long time ago.
But it's like playing without a capo, you know?
It was weird, man. It was weird. Every once in a while, I'd touch, just.
Yeah, and be like, oh, don't do that. No.
And I'm trying to sing. I'm like,
It sounded like 1150 Steelheart or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, after the show, we're talking about, just like every, I'm sure, band does. You talk about the bands you played with. You talk about the show. You talk about who was there in the crowd, this and that. And we always do. After every show, we talk about it. And we're like, it was at the next band practice that we were talking about this, and we were working on writing that song. And we had probably just had the conversation, what are we going to name this song? And so we started talking about that night, and how this certain person in a certain other band was whining about this and that. And I'm like going off on this rant about, man, we had to deal with this and that, and Plus My Finger. And
I was like, bam, that's the name of the new song.
Dude, Plus My Finger.
Well, we should play that one right now then. Let's play Plus My Finger.
Let's do it.
This is 1152 with Plus My Finger on 97X. Minor Disturbance Radio on 97X. We're sitting here with the boys in 1152, and we're going to be dropping probably another new song off their upcoming CD, The Typical Type. We'll probably do it in this segment here. So
I thought you were going to say dropping a deuce.
I went and did that. I don't know why he has to do that. Edit him out,
That's going to
Paul.
be my middle name. Travis Edit Williams.
Well, we were taking a break there. I was outside talking to a couple of you guys, and it was brought to my attention that there are some people that don't really believe that this MDR top 3 that we do is legit, because you guys have been the number 1 song for 2 months in a row on it. And I have to say,
And they're your favorite band.
Is it just 2 months?
Yeah, and they happen to be. But rest assured, Travis and I, just so everybody knows, Travis and I do not even vote on that panel. And anybody in the public, any music lover is welcome to be on the panel and vote for whoever you want to vote for. So this is not something that Travis and I manipulate. It is up to the listener themselves to vote for these songs. We have nothing to do with it other than giving them a page to vote on. That's all we do.
That's right.
So the fact that you guys have been number 1 for 2 months in a row and that you happen to be one of my favorite bands have nothing to do in common.
You're right. It's
So-
just complete coincidence.
Yes.
So he may not be like voting as Brian Miner, but like they're like, what's all these votes from like Frick Fagaby? Who's this guy?
Yeah. All right, we may create fake Facebook accounts.
right,
We don't do that either.
Don't do that.
Right.
I know that guy. It's an unfortunate name. He got beat up a lot in school. It was not cool.
Sorry, if that's someone's real name,
That's
Frick
political.
Fagaby.
It's pretty politically incorrect. Man.
Inbox me. I'll
Yeah, I mean, hit me up. Like, I want to be that guy's friend. I've always said that. Like, if there's a Frick Fagaby, I hope he's like a dwarf. I want a dwarf friend. I just want to do stuff with him.
Yeah, just hang out.
Like, take him on my motorcycle. Like,
Yep.
let him sit on the gas tank. and
Oh,
stuff.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
He'd
like-
never burn his ankles.
Right. Like, so anybody, like, if you're, if you're a little person, I want to be your friend. So
Okay.
look me up.
You're going to change his name?
This one's
Or
for
her?
you, Frick.
Yeah.
Oh, edit.
Podcast.
Yeah, this is podcast language.
You have a little body, but a
So we were
regular
talking
sized head.
earlier about the recording of this album.
Yeah, that's right.
We got through the drums.
Right.
Okay, you want to continue bragging about one takes and stuff like that?
I will brag about one takes, but what I will also mention, and most of you will hear it as soon as the album comes out, is there are a ton of mistakes in this album. So after we got the drums done, Dusty and myself, we spent the next year and a half occasionally putting down some guitar tracks digitally, capturing DI takes or direct intakes.
Now that's where you plug your guitar directly into what the recording media, as opposed to through the amp and then through a microphone.
Yeah,
into the
because we
recording
knew with our work schedules that we would never ever set up a live amp and record the whole thing. It wasn't going to happen.
Just wasn't going to happen.
Wasn't going to happen. So we instead recorded the entire album digitally until it was time to what we call reamp the guitars, and then we also got Nichols takes at the same time.
Right.
And then it was all done. Like, a year and a half goes by and we're not doing anything on the album.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, Jeff Loader, mix it
Yep.
now.
Can I chime in? They had how long? A year and a half?
At least.
I had 4 days?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was really important for you to get done.
Oh, man.
So what we did was we captured 3 guitar takes a piece
Oh, okay.
per song. And then we had visions of just panning those left and right. Guitar player 1, guitar player 2.
Yep.
And here's your sound. Jeff Loader, however, on the other hand, when it came time to reamp these takes, said, let's do something different with that. We're going to go ahead and take your number 1 and your number 2 takes as your main guitar sounds, and I'm going to take your third take and use that as a filler in between hard pan left and right.
Interesting.
And it sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm really, really happy with it.
Well, for the listeners out there who may not realize what happens, and everybody who's a distorted electric guitar player knows this, that a lot of times, the more performances you add, the more takes you add, you think it should get bigger, but instead it gets more cloudy sounding, like it becomes less distinctive because all your attacks are slightly different. There got to be some way to get the guitar sound to be bigger with fewer takes. So it sounds like you found a way to do that.
Right. So yes, our main 1 and 2 takes is basically just a double take.
Yeah.
And then our third take it's definitely backed down in the mix, and it's also more centered
Gotcha.
than it is panned hard left
Gotcha.
or right. But because what would happen when I was mixing it myself just for fun, if you had all 3 takes up same volume, hard and left, it just became chorusy and washy.
Yeah.
And meh.
Yep. Yeah, you don't want that.
Let's talk about the songwriting process with you guys, because, for example, when I was writing songs, it usually was I would write the song and then I'd bring it to the band. Do you guys do that, or is it a collective?
Mike writes everything.
Yeah, I mean, basically, the working title of this album is Mike's Riff.
Mike's Riff?
Mike's Riff. But
Yep.
no.
We're going to change the name of the band, actually, to Mike.
Mike.
Yeah.
All right.
I think there's already a punk band from Chicago named Mike, so they'd have to wrestle you for pinks.
That's right. I mean, we'll do it.
1152 featuring Mike Freeberg.
There you go.
No.
No, it's Mike Freeberg featuring 1150.
And the 11. How about Mike Freeberg and the 1152 band?
Yeah.
There you
How
go.
about Katrina and the Waves?
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Oh God, Travis. Who invited him?
Right. So what happens in 1152, and what has happened for the last 9+ years, is that either Dusty or myself gets an idea with guitar riffs, or we're all just jamming in the basement on a guitar riff that somebody just spontaneously makes.
Sometimes a drum beat.
Sometimes a drum beat.
Is that true?
Yep.
It's not true.
It's never true. He says I don't.
No, it's sometimes true. I mean,
Vocals 100% of the time come afterwards.
Okay.
I'm like,
it's
hey
always
guys, I got this really cool idea, and they're like, that idea is not that cool.
That's typically what drummers go through.
Yeah.
So I mean, when my drummer used to say, "Hey, dude, I've got this riff, man," I'm like, "No, you don't," because he's gonna hum it to me. He's like, and then I'm like, "That's not a riff."
You're like, that sounds exactly like a drum kit.
Yeah.
Right. So, but yeah, you have to understand that you can't build a house with the drywall first and then put the studs in. There's got to be a foundation. There has to be the 2x4s have to be there, and that's usually the riff. And then everything goes around that, the trim and the drywall, everything like that. You can't do it out of order.
Yeah.
So I understand how that is. You don't do the roof first and then build a house under it.
Right.
I'd always get, I could never write metal because I'd always get bogged down in guitar riffs, and then they would all start sounding the same to me, and then I wouldn't be able to make anything.
You know what really makes me mad is I'll be laying on the bed playing my guitar, and I'll just about be dozing off playing some riff, and I'm like, this riff sucks. I'm just gonna go to sleep to it. Get bored and fall asleep, and then like hear a song that sounds just like it on the radio, and have it be a smash hit.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, because I tried too hard. I would try to write riffs that were too busy to show off. You know, I'd try to take off, and then I would just hear that, a dan dan down. Would be fine. And that's all. That's all the stuff I would lay there on my bed and just strum out and be like, God, wouldn't it be lame if this was my song? And then I realized that should have been my song.
And Zakk Wylde did that 1,000 times.
Right.
Yeah. He did.
I think it's when you start to, and you said vocals 100% come second.
Yeah, they do.
And
all right, let's role play right now.
Okay.
Let me role play for a second. Okay. Because I want to know how the rest of the band reacts. Because I know it happens sometimes when you're at rehearsal and Mike brings in a riff, okay? Imagine Mike brought in the worst riff ever, okay? I want to hear how you guys would let him know. I want to know how you guys would let Mike know that the riff isn't very good. I need to learn from you guys. So, Mike, you say, what do you guys think, man?
Dude, you got to check this out. I've been working on this all weekend. Check this out.
All weekend?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You hear that? Gay.
Edit.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Right,
you just say that and then it's over.
Yeah,
he knows.
No,
He would probably just start playing the riff, I would imagine.
Yeah, most
likely. If I know
likely.
Mike, he would just start playing the riff, and I would be like, huh?
Try to get you on board.
And I'd start watching him, and then I'd start playing the riff, and then Eric, we really don't talk about it. Honestly.
No.
Let the music do the talking.
Hold on a fucking minute here.
Until it sticks. And then we start talking about it.
Here's what
get some buy-in.
here's what
Yep.
It's gotta
fucking
stick.
happens.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it gets...
Let Eric,
Can you say here's what happens?
yeah.
Here's what happens.
Okay. This is from Eric, the drummer. He's got the clear perspective of all this.
Okay.
Okay. These guys will come at me with some riff that's, you have to play the drums backwards in order to, follow along to it. No, it's like this, man. It's, play it like this. Do it like, well, if it's that easy, then, come on back here and do it, dude. Like, it's like you're asking me to play the drums backwards. Like the feel is so weird on this. Like sometimes they come up with these, what I call pirate riffs. Sound like something to be played on a pirate ship. Or
Right. Yo ho ho and a bottle of rum.
But but
You've been playing with the Hong Kong sleepover too much.
All right. That's right.
but no, sometimes if Mike brings something in and we don't really like it, it's oh well, because like he's just gonna keep playing it. So.
so you guys don't say anything.
No,
they do.
Yeah.
They do.
Band.
We do.
Just let him shoot his wad. And
A
if he's
long
decent,
time
it'll
ago,
be-
a long time ago, we would get mad about that. Everybody would throw a little temper tantrum and then leave for a little while and then come back.
I'm pretty sure that 90% of all the songs that were on any of my records were because they were afraid to tell me that they didn't like them.
Right.
So, because I would be like, everybody likes this, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, Brian, it's the greatest song ever that you wrote there.
Yeah. Well,
Let's
the
not
last
put it
time,
on the set tonight, though.
but it's the last time that they were honest with me about my song. I was in an emotional wheelchair for like a month. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I got to be honest.
Nurse my ego.
That to me is the key to a successful band, is to be mature enough to be able to have your brothers in the band be honest, and not, you could tell when they're trying to hurt your feelings and when they're just trying to say like, look, man, that's just not working out. Let's try something different. I had a hard time with that, and it seems like you guys have learned how to communicate that way, because otherwise you wouldn't have these killer songs. There'd be some filler in there that you're just appeasing one of the members because of,
And there's songs that it's taken us 2 years to write because of that.
Yeah.
Because we're always just, okay, if that didn't work, let's try something else.
I will serve no wine before it's time.
Now, Nickel, I want to know, you've been in the band how long now?
Oh, it's almost a year.
Yeah.
Almost a year.
October, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So can you tell them when a riff sucks?
Yeah.
You feel confident enough?
Yeah. I feel that. Yeah.
Do you guys listen to them?
No.
Well,
No.
To be honest,
I'm just the bass player. I mean,
to be honest, we have not written any new material since he's joined. We have tested the waters here and there, but we have spent the last year really trying to
have
focus on
tested
this
the
new
waters.
album.
Okay.
You know, so it's not time yet. It's not time yet for me to write the new album.
right.
So you're moving.
We're excited though. We're excited to hear what Mike comes up with.
So you're moving at break dick speed, is what you're telling me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, Loader thinks so because we just crammed it down his throat.
Yeah, right.
3 weeks ago, we're like, oh, by the way, our CD release party is September 30th. He's like, I haven't even started mixing it yet. Yeah,
Too much too soon.
Yeah.
Too much too soon.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I learned a lot from that conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Which you didn't answer at all,
At
but
all.
that's cool.
That's cool. They deflected the
well,
question.
Pretty much the last year has just been, learning the EPs, and then they're like, oh, we have a whole album that you need to learn too.
And you're going to record next week.
Yeah. It was like
Basically,
cool.
you had to learn what, like,
I don't
probably
know how
about
many songs.
30 songs.
30 songs.
all
Yeah.
all
We've-
our original songs.
I was
And
gonna say, I should have joined a cover
lot of
band.
the songs like on the new album that I didn't even know until it was like, all right, we're recording. Like just turn
And
on.
we're playing out
yeah.
next
Yeah.
week. You got that?
Get it together.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. And,
We've thrown a lot at him.
it was pretty terrifying.
Have you ever acted like your chord fell out while you didn't know a riff or something? Because I would. I'd totally be like, see, my chord fell out. I can't find it. It's
No, I just do bass slides.
bass slides start tapping.
Yeah. Whatever. Let's do a giant rake.
Just this riff always works.
That riff always works. Like every time.
Fits in any song.
It's in any
So you're
song.
in trouble. But
See, watch.
Yep.
Even if it's Lenny Kravitz, are you gonna go my do 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 works
Yep.
in every song.
That's right,
I'm
man.
gonna do that in the middle of our set now.
I hear Paradise City in there.
Take me down.
Try to put it in any song. Start humming any riff. I'll put it in. Guarantee it. Watch.
All right. Should have been gone.
Do 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 do. See?
That worked
perfect.
perfectly. That worked perfectly.
See, and let's get to the nuts and bolts of 1152. I'm having a lot of fun with you guys, but I really want to know, what is 1152 aiming towards? What is the goal that you guys have? I mean, what is this doing?
Oh boy.
It changes. I think it changes. You know, if you would have asked us that a long time ago, it would have probably been a different answer than now. But I think, right? I mean, I think,
Yeah.
I think we just want to be the best that we can be for us, and whatever else happens is cool. But it's just changed. You know, for a long time we were like, you know, we're gonna be the best ever, and
World domination.
All right.
Yeah. So you guys have it's kind of smart to put down your guns as far as the whole wanting to be a rock star, because if you're aiming for that, you're losing focus of the actual product.
And
I
that's
think
a losing
sometimes.
battle no matter what you do. You
Yeah.
know? I think you
Anymore.
I think the only way that finds you is by not even thinking about it.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
And because if you're thinking about it, you're just going to emulate something that's already happened.
Yeah.
And if you let go of that and just do what matters to you, the only way that you can get there is if it finds you, I think.
I think that that's brilliant. I think that being true to your art first, and I know this sounds so cliche, but being a part of what it is that you're doing and full 100% be in that instead of worrying about, well, where are we going with this?
Yep.
That is going to take you to wherever it goes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because
And-
that's just how it works.
Just got to get out.
Talking about Nickel getting in the band, and it's, I mean, you know, like Mike was just saying, we haven't written anything yet, and it's exciting because Nickel brings a whole new dynamic that we haven't played with yet. You know, we haven't. So I think we get to change and become something different now, which is exciting, and not do the same old thing. You know, and
Yeah.
Right.
I think we're all.
I'm gonna ruin the band.
Well,
In a
bass
good
players usually do, but
In a
In a
good
very
way.
good
In a
way.
good way. In a good way.
Disco's coming back.
It is. And it's right here.
I guess what I'm getting at is, say most bands talk about, we want that record deal, we want to go on tour, we want to there's not going to be very much of a radio push besides Minor Disturbance Radio for a band that's playing metal. So that the market is completely jacked for trying to make it in this business. But I think that you guys could make a supplemental income dominating in this market around here. But I guess that's what my question is how far will you guys go? I mean, will you leave for months at a time?
We've talked about that. We talk about that all the time and have for years. Circumstances would have to be right, and they would have to be all in our favor. Yeah. We all have families, and we're all rooted here, and we're all old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so it would have to be just right.
Old is subjective, Dusty.
It is.
Well, I've got two testicles that are nearing my knees.
You know what I mean, though, man. We're not fresh out of high school,
right?
Yeah.
And so that factors in. You got to think about that stuff.
I'm still waiting for Doc, and I need a new guitar player, and I'm gone. I'll do some sit-ups and stop eating cereal for a couple months, and
I think we've all talked about it.
I'll get a scarf. I'll wear a scarf and some eyeliner and a big hoop earring and cut my hair short and black and
There
be
you
like,
go.
"What's up?" I wear eyeliner all the time, even at home.
Tattoo.
Yeah. You guys don't understand when I watch all the older musicians or rock stars kind of get old. That's what their look is. It's kind of like the Affliction pants and the boots with a cross on them, and then a scarf and a sleeveless shirt or something, and like the eyeliner that's always on.
Bling.
Well, I get out of bed like this. This is what I look like. It's like, no, you don't. I bet when you're at home, you're in sandals and you look like a dipshit.
Yep.
And your wife's always going, "Where the fuck is my eyeliner?"
Yeah.
I accidentally did that one time because apparently there's blue eyeliner that I didn't. It is dark in the dressing room when I'm caking on blue eyeliner, and then you look completely weird.
Oh yeah.
You come out and the guys in your band are like, "Hey, Brian." Hey, Brian.
New shade tonight?
That's bad.
Taking that for a ride, are we?
Electric blue. That was popular in like the 90s or something. Girls were putting. Do you remember, Lindsay? You ever heard of? Yeah, she knows. Electric blue.
She read about it.
Well, that was the Debbie Gibson album, right? Debbie Gibson. Excuse me, Deborah Gibson.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Let's talk heroes. I want to know what makes you guys tick as musicians. Okay. And I'll start over here with Eric. If you had one musician or one drummer or one person that you idolize or that you look up to, like a muse to you, who would that be?
There's a couple guys, but if there was one dude that I could hang out with all day, it'd probably be Ray Luzier from Korn.
Really?
He's absolutely phenomenal.
Cool.
Yeah.
What about you, Dusty?
James Hetfield.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, right. So
What would you say to him? I mean, imagine you're sitting with him. What would you talk about?
Well, it would probably be like,
Edit.
what would I say to James Hetfield? Man, I don't know. I have.
You only get 15 seconds. The meet and greet's coming up. You're coming in line. Hetfield sitting there. What are you gonna say?
Do you want to jam with me? That's probably what I would spit out. Dude, you want to jam? Let's jam. Let's go play guitars and jam.
Yeah.
Because that would just, that'd be.
What would be the first Metallica riff you jammed?
I've often thought about that. And I would try and get him to jam one of my riffs.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because he'd probably, be more interested in that, I would think.
Yeah.
Yep. I'd steal one of Mike's really good ones.
Yeah.
Tell him it was mine. Like, check out my riff I wrote. Wah, wah, wah.
And Hetfield would be like, that's totally my riff, man. Right. What about you, Freeberg?
I'm into some really obscure stuff right now, and it's mostly instrumental stuff, but a kid by the name of Andy James, been listening to him a lot. Nobody's going to know who that is, but I actually would say James Hetfield also, because I've always been fascinated by gentlemen who can play the guitar and sing.
Yeah.
It just drives me crazy.
But honestly, the guy to talk to in that band is Kirk Hammett, because he would tell you the truth about everything. See, you get a watered down version from Lars and James, but if you got over there to like Kirk Hammett's ranch where he rides horses,
wears purple shirts,
and if you brought the right kind of rosy wine, I'm sure he'd tell you everything. seeing as how you got a man bun and stuff. I mean,
Not right now, I don't.
Oh, that's right.
oh, he let the hair down. By the way, people listening to the radio, Mike Freeberg finally let his hair down, and he is beautiful.
What a beautiful man. Beautiful.
Nickel, you got a hero?
Yeah, I would probably say Robert Trujillo. Not because of like the whole Metallica thing, but like I followed him from back in the day when he was in Infectious Grooves, and when I don't know, like when I was a kid just learning how to play bass, and I heard him, I was just kind of like, oh my god,
Yeah.
Then dripping some green funk on the carpet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Say it with pleasure.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, there's a million people that I'd love to meet, but like that, he's the one that I was kind of like, oh my god, I need to play a bass guitar.
Awesome.
So if James Hetfield and the drummer from Korn and Robert,
man.
well, they're already in a band.
I was gonna
together.
say this has happened already.
Yeah, it's called Metallica.
And then Andy James, who is a phenomenal lead guitar player, all those guys got together.
There you go.
Well, that's an interesting thing to think about because we're now talking about mixing different musicians up to have like a jam, and I am happy to say that I finally got you stuck-up bastards to agree. No, I can't. I'll edit that. Oh, come on.
It's not us. We're not showing up.
Oh yeah. So for the for the MDR All-Star Jam this year, there will be a band that looks similar to the band 1152 that is going to show up and play a jam set of all Metallica songs.
Yep.
Does this band have a name?
Grey Pickle.
Grey Pickle. Mm-hmm. Grey Pickle is going to be at the All-Star Jam.
They've played at Rascals before.
Have they?
Yep.
You were there.
All right. And I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know what 3 Metallica songs you guys pick. But Travis and I have both decided it cannot be For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Nope.
And it cannot be Enter Sandman.
Nope.
Nope.
It's going to be hard and heavy stuff. Fast.
Cool.
Fast stuff.
Great.
All right.
Terrific.
Great.
Good for you, Eric.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I picked James Hetfield.
Yep.
So this is like a dream come true
Dude.
for me, seriously.
Yeah.
For this band to play
Dude.
all Metallica songs.
In fact, I want you to play all Metallica songs, and I want you to only play songs off Ride the Lightning.
No.
I want
I think they can
Fight
do
Fire
whatever they
with Fire.
You might hear that. You
I
might
want,
not.
Metallica can't even do that.
Yeah, that's right. I want Trapped Under Ice.
You might hear that. You might not.
I want.
It's such a good song.
Here, all I got
Ride
to
the
say
Lightning.
is,
You're asking the wrong group of
Creeping
fellas.
Death.
Right.
Creeping Death will probably be on there for sure.
Creeping Death, dude.
well, here, I'll
Yeah.
tell you right now that
Cthulhu might.
Call of Cthulhu,
doesn't it
dude.
make sense though to have 1152 do a Metallica set?
Yeah,
Not,
absolutely.
for the only reason being is if anybody's going to do it and pull it off the way that it probably should be, is you guys.
Well, thanks, man.
I mean, I think
For
that you guys would bring it, So that's why I did that. I thought it made sense.
Go ahead, Eric. You were about to say something.
I don't have anything to say.
Boring. That shit's boring for him.
Yeah.
Were you dragged into this, Eric?
Yep.
Yeah. We kind of had an idea though. I don't know if it would even work.
Like so bad at games. It's
We were gonna
Go ahead.
we were gonna replace my snare drum with a kickball.
No, there you go, dude. And then do All Saint Anger.
Only when we do the same thing.
Yeah.
Dong.
No, we've talked about it. We have stuff in the works. We also have a CD coming out on September 30th, so it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, right.
But it's cool because we get to work on our CD release set and work on the Metallica set.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys doing it because I've been trying to get you guys to be a part of this thing, every year, and I know that you guys have a lot going on, and I appreciate your time of doing it. So, or
Right on,
Grey
man.
Pickle, whoever them guys are.
Yeah, right.
Who?
Right.
That Grey Pickle band?
Oh, okay.
Is Mike taking a piss? He's got the
Yeah.
bladder of a 16-year-old girl.
It's the size of a walnut.
you
Grey
listening?
Pickle.
I can
Grey
almost
Pickle.
hear it. Yeah.
Grey Pickle.
We had
Grey Pickle, yeah.
That reminds me of something.
They played at Rascals, I don't know, about a year ago, maybe.
There were these,
Yeah.
Longer than that.
I'll try to put you guys on early enough that you can get it done and hang out for a bit, and I won't put you on at 1.
So two necrophiliacs walk into a morgue,
Uh-oh.
and one of them says to the other, "I just think that the penises of the corpses they're like little pickles," and
Pickle.
and the other one says, "Why? 'Cause they're green," and the first one says, "No, 'cause they're sour."
Hey, are you gonna play the second song yet?
Leave it to Travis.
You want to do that? Yeah, we'll do that in this segment. Well, at least let's do
that.
that segment, and if it makes it,
It's the
you'll get it
Can
to
we-
me, goddammit.
it's the title track.
All right, well, wait for
mention
listen.
that.
See, that's how.
That's a
Do you hear
stream.
that? You hear that?
You
That's a
didn't hear
fire
me,
hose
Ian?
right there. No,
we couldn't.
Holy, that's like a
No.
cow pissing on a flat rock. Holy fuck.
no. Actually,
I like
listened
the
like
pad that you got in there. I feel
Yeah.
like I'm stepping up onto a fluffy
Place.
cloud.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
It's
For my
really
cock
nice.
to
My
wee wee.
cock to step out.
Then I pull out my big cock and stick it in the toilet.
Edit.
Try not to step on my saggy balls.
I just brush them.
Why do you hang out with these guys?
These guys, I don't know. I mean, I try to get them to kick me out of the band all the time. They won't do it. But
We do whatever we want.
we were admiring
No,
your
I don't.
stream. I mean,
It's healthy.
that is a powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a powerful stream of piss
absolutely,
you've got there.
absolutely, man.
Yeah.
You guys ready?
It's I have a large urethral diameter.
Yeah.
yeah.
Which is weird because he has a very small penal diameter.
Well,
Big pee hole. Big pee hole.
actually,
looks like an
I'm hung like a cheese wheel. Actually, is the fact.
So much.
It's like an empty toilet paper roll.
Wow. It's like I can't get any back pressure. You know, it's just like,
It just goes. It's so defeated.
yeah, dude.
No, it's like dumping out a 2
Puts his
liter.
head down.
Glug, 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 glug.
It's like yeah, totally.
Recoil.
My epididymis
Well,
is
you think
bigger
the
than my
air would be,
anus.
the air coming in your butthole would compensate?
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's like it's carburation.
Yeah, you
gotta
put your
pull
thumb in your butt.
you
and
gotta pull the carb,
I was like, it's like, what is that? What do they call that? Like
Some kind of
like gas cans.
Yeah,
You
it's
can't
like a
buy
whole gas can,
with
yeah.
a freaking
Yeah.
vent on it. no more,
Aerated,
right?
dude. You're
You
carbureted.
gotta drill one out.
Thank
Yeah.
you, California.
Be smart, man.
Yeah,
Just-
thanks,
right?
California.
Yeah, with a blowtorch,
Shitty
just burn a hole through it.
Fucking
your lighter.
over-regulation of everything.
Get a needle really hot.
Yeah.
Jam it in there.
They make the
Get a
rules.
sparkler.
Whatever the fuck they want, yeah.
Yeah,
Slowly.
That's what I used last
That's what I
time.
would do.
Yeah.
I started, got the whole right.
You had hair then too, didn't
Yeah, I
you?
did.
Yeah.
Yep. I had teeth
For a
too.
few
I
minutes.
saw what happened with that. Yeah, I had teeth too. Fuck. Saw what happened with that. Oh
So-
yeah, man.
So let's play another new song from 1152. This is the title track.
Is it?
I don't know. You guys are supposed to say stuff too. You know.
Okay.
this is the title track.
Okay, so
That was great.
Try again.
all right, so take two. All right, so we get to play another brand new track off of The Typical Type, and this one is the title track. So I can't wait. Did that suck?
The typical type is the title track of the typical type. This show has a rapper.
Without laughing.
This show has
All
a
right,
rapper.
let's do this. Okay. So the guys in 1152 have been nice enough to let us spin 2 songs off of their new CD. This is the title track. This is The Typical Type.
We could talk about it after.
This is my favorite.
what?
This is it.
This the right track?
Yes.
Yeah. You can turn it up
It's
as
gonna
loud
be
as
way
this
more
motherfucker
This is
will
quiet.
way
go.
too melodic to be 1152.
Not anymore.
You know the type of whom I talk. Typical type of plastic head. He's got a candy heart that tastes like shit. Across the room, I size you up. Display aggression with our glance. Evokes a test of nerves manual. Submit. No, I think this is evident.
Nice.
And the stick. And the stick click at the
Nice.
end.
Awesome,
when the
dude.
stick's down.
Clickety click.
It's fucking sweet, dude. Yeah.
Cool.
Give me that shit all
Just so
night.
you know, that's 3 guitar parts
Yeah.
by themselves.
Let me come out of this thing for the radio. Every time I say for the radio, everybody's like, that was the mighty 1152 in true form on that one, guys. Thank you very much for letting us listen to that. That was absolutely stomping.
Right on.
Yeah, I can. You know, like I said, when we were listening to that, I could see you guys playing it, and I could see Dusty. You turn into somebody else. That's one thing that's always fascinated me. Is there's a Dusty that you talk to outside before the show, and then there's a Dusty that's playing guitar in 1152 and singing. What is going on in your head? Are you gone? Are you lost? What comes out of you? Who is that person?
Yeah, there are times where I am kind of gone, actually. I've noticed that, and maybe it's because I drink too much. I don't know. No.
But there's a different vein. There's a vein that comes out in your forehead that just...
Yeah.
It's a different one than when you're drinking a shake that's too thick. It's like to the left, you know. Stage left.
Yeah. No, man, I think it's a release, you know, so there are times when you just kind of let go and lose yourself in it, and it's easy to do when everybody else is pushing really. You can feel all that energy, and if we got a big crowd and they're, you know, it's just easy to get lost in it. And so yeah, it does happen. But there's also times where all I can do is critique myself the moment that it's happening. And it, you know, I'm like, oh, that was a bad note. Oh, I just messed up on guitar. Oh, you know, I'm too loud there. Or, oh, I came in late. And so I guess it's both, you know.
So but you guys practice so much that it's almost like it's just like a boxer. You got to be ready to come out when that bell rings to fight, you know, and it's almost second nature. Everything's a reaction instead of thinking about what you're doing. It seems to me anyway, because it doesn't seem like you're thinking too much. It looks like you're riding the gig. You're on top of it. Like you're feeling it like the audience. And that's what connected me to it. Is it felt like we were all at the same time kind of doing the same thing, you know.
This will sound weird, but I was watching America's Got Talent with my wife the other night, and Howie Mandel's on that show. And there's a performer on there who is deaf right now, like during this season right now. She's deaf, and she's plays a ukulele and sings, which is incredible, you know, to be able to do that. And she's really good. You know, if you've seen it or not, I'm sure people who have seen it will know what I'm talking about. But one thing Howie Mandel said is that she has an advantage. He's like, you don't have a disadvantage. You have an advantage because you feel the music more than you hear it. And if you can do that, you know, if you can feel it more than anything, you know, Eric earlier was talking about feel. He's like, these guys give me a crazy riff and the feel's all wrong. It's because Eric has to feel the riff to be able to play it. And that's always been true of this band. And so everything we do comes from that, comes from how does it feel, not more like how does it sound. And so I think that comes through on stage, man. It's like, you know, if it's going, if it's firing off, you know, then you really feel it. There's plenty of shows where it's not. And then, you know, you can tell that it's not.
Yeah.
But even on those nights, like we just played a show, 10 days ago, and I didn't feel like it was my best performance ever. And maybe some of our other members didn't feel like it was the best performance ever, but our fans, they ate it up. Yeah. And they the whole time they were screaming and yelling and singing our lyrics, and I feel like a jerk.
A fraud.
For feeling bad about what I did because I made them feel good.
All right.
Well, here's how I kind of look at that.
No,
and from the outside looking in, I understand what you're saying, because you're living that moment through you wondering about what you're doing. Mm-hmm. The audience is seeing 1152 as a collective and with the other people that they're around. And I think that being in the position to be in the audience, they're seeing something completely different than we're seeing. And you might think it's a shitty gig for you. But they're seeing a lot more aspects of the show than you can even comprehend, because they're not you. They're not. You remember writing the song. You remember, because you wrote all the songs.
Yep, right.
You remember practicing the songs. You've already played them 1,000 times before. People get to hear them at concert volume that night as you guys are doing it, and it's not to you guys. It's kind of numb. To the audience, it's stimulant. You know, so that you got to remember that too. So the next time you think you sucked, you know you may not have. The audience will probably be able to determine that. And you're like me. You're like me. I don't think I've ever played a good
in the
gig.
morning at home.
Yeah.
What did I say that for?
Oh no, Dusty.
Talking about in between.
Let me tell you about what did I say. I stood in front of the audience at the Purgatory, which is a tiny little bar in Bettendorf. We were inside with my little bedazzled plastic pants and my eyeliner and my 80s tribute band. And in between songs, I was like, "All right, people, I was in the shower earlier and I was washing my body and I reached down there and I felt a hair and I pulled on it and it was like 6 inches up my butthole." Yeah. This is called Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
And I pulled on it and I was like, "Oh," like that.
Yeah.
It felt good.
And the whole crowd was looking at me like, and my wife went out the side door.
Yeah.
And I was like, I thought that was funny as shit.
That's fucking hilarious.
And the band's
dude.
dying. They're dying.
Yeah.
And I went to bed that night. I was still drunk. Went to bed, and at like you said, 4 o'clock in the morning, I was like, I sat straight up in bed and went,
man.
"Oh,
haunting.
Oh man."
We played Rascals on a Black Friday once, and I tried. It was Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, and packed. The place was packed. Rascals front to back, and I was trying to get everybody in the whole place to gobble all at the same time. I thought that would work. I thought that was like this. I was like, if everybody just gobble all at once, come on. Crickets. Everybody's looking at me like.
You got to ask yourself, would Hetfield do this?
Yeah, right.
What would Hetfield do?
Yeah, there it is.
That's what I tell them all the time.
WWHD.
You want me to do what over that riff?
WWHD.
James Hetfield could.
That's how Mike motivates me, and it works every time. He's like, "What would James Hetfield do, Dusty?"
Yeah.
He would sing over that riff.
Well, let's promote this CD release show that you guys are going to do on September 30th.
Yep. Of 2017.
Of 2007
year.
Up there at Rascals Live.
Yes.
That's the place.
Yeah, and you guys are headlining. You have an opening band as well. Mm-hmm. A couple of opening bands.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Who are they?
Nickel, why don't you tell us?
It is what, Discrepancies?
Oh, yes.
Where are they
They're
from?
first, right?
Tell us where they're from, Nickel.
Are they from St. Louis?
I believe so, yes.
St. Louis.
You just became the new host of
did.
MDR.
I
You're
think
good.
he did.
Just
Thanks,
now.
He
man.
just totally did.
All right.
And then it's
Got anything else to tell us?
Yeah, I do. It's one more band. It's 9th Street Memory.
And where are they from, Nickel?
I think they're from the Quad Cities. if I'm
I
not
think you're wrong. Why don't you
mistaken.
correct yourself, Nickel?
Oh, they're from Kelowna.
That's where they claim.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
They claim NASCAR, too, I think.
They do. I don't think I've ever heard of them.
They claim Missouri.
So it's 9th Street Memory.
He claims Missouri.
It's the Discrepancies, 9th Street Memory, and 1152 playing up there at Rascals on September 30th. And it's your CD release. I hope you move all the CDs that you guys order. And I think you're going to do well, buddy.
It's our
Thanks,
first.
man.
It's our first full length.
Yeah?
Is that right?
Yeah.
How many songs are on it?
10.
10 songs.
We ordered like 20 CDs, so
Yeah.
we should sell them all.
We're going to get there,
Yeah,
man.
but we're gonna give 5 away before we go. So there's like 15 CDs to buy.
Yeah. So I mean, better
you-
get up there and get one.
And you had to draw the cover on each one, so they're all unique.
Pretty much.
That's right. Yeah.
Awesome. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cover. Sweet.
Want to trade?
So we're going to have to take a real quick break. When we get back, we're going to do the MDR Top 3 Local Hits. This is Minor Disturbance Radio on 97X.
But I've got my jam box on play, record, pause, and I know it's coming on. So then I will hit pause to unpause it, and I will record it off of the radio like I did in the Kick 104 days when I was just trying to get Sunglasses at Night by Corey Hart on my tape to be played at a later time.
To be played, you got to get more of an exit in there.
I was trying to get a certain female to take her clothes off.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying?
You understand?
Do you understand?
So since we have the boys in 1152 here tonight, before we play the number 1 MDR local hit, I want to know, the song is Man on Brown Street. I need to know where the inspiration came for this song, or if you can tell me any story about the writing of it, or something that, what it means to you that's special about it.
About the writing of the actual music, minus vocals. This is a song that is definitely one that we were just playing in the basement. It's not like Mike came with a riff or I came with a riff or Eric had a drum beater. Nickel, you weren't in the band.
No, I wasn't.
You get out of here. But
Tired of you.
It's the music is almost entirely that. I know Mike worked hard on his guitar solo on that. And
Did you say hard on?
Yep,
Okay.
I did say hard on.
Really hard.
Who is the man on Brown Street?
That's my grandfather. Yeah,
Awesome.
And we wrote that song when he was passing, and he and I were really close and stuff. And so the lyrics strictly are about that, and just me dealing with it.
Thank you for being honest about
Getting it
that,
off my
Dusty, because
chest.
a lot of people would shun that.
It's actually kind of hard to think about it right now.
Yeah,
actually, to be
they would
to be
snub the
totally
answer,
honest
but I
with
bet you the
Kinda
people
caught me off
listening,
guard, but
I bet you the people that listen to it now are going to have a new relationship with it because it is something that's true and it comes from the people that wrote it. Instead of some
Right on.
made up story, it's true to
Right
you.
on. Mike earlier said the music comes before the lyrics, and so this song it felt like, man, this is my chance to get this off my chest and leave something. I always felt like I wanted to leave something lasting to kind of show my respect for him. So yeah,
Monument.
yeah, that's what those lyrics are all about.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
See, I didn't even know that.
We all.
So
No, that's cool, dude.
yeah,
right on,
I
right
have
on.
a whole new outlook on
And
that song now.
One thing I've always said about it too is I respect the time that Mike put into the solo, because honestly the lyrics mean so much to me, but when I listen to that song, the guitar solo is what drives it home, honestly. So
Cool.
I always feel like I need to put that out there.
Now, when you say guitar solo, do you mean that fucking abomination that is in the middle of this thing?
Yeah.
It is. And it is 100%
Yep.
a rip-off of everybody I've ever listened to. But I did know, Dusty and I have been friends for, over a decade. And when we were writing this song, and when I knew that it was a potential radio hit, or just one of the best songs that we've ever written, I went into the wood shop and started writing a solo for it.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah. And my wife is here, and ask her about the many nights that she heard me
Working on that.
working
fucker.
on that solo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it too. I remember many band practices where you'd be working on it, and
Yeah, it's
so
It's one of the ones
It's
that
that
I.
whole-
It's
the
one of the
whole-
ones that I thought that when I heard it, I thought to myself, "Oh shit, Mike can play, dude."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And to Eric's credit too, I mean, we spent a ton of time on this song. It's not just some song that just happened. I mean, we came up with it and changed it and dissected it, and I think once the lyrics started coming out, then we really took it serious and tried to bring it to another level. Like Mike taking
Cool.
all that time to write a solo, and Eric and I pounding out ideas about what the rhythm should be during the solo. I mean, we
Right.
changed that a million times.
Right. Yeah.
You
I don't
know,
think I've
it's-
ever. Now you have been good about that, but I've never been about that. I've never written a different part of a song just to go behind what the guitar solo does.
And see, it didn't start off that way.
Yeah.
We had whatever we were playing.
Right.
But once his solo started to come out, then Eric would change what he was playing
Right.
on drums
He
because
started
of the
talking.
feel.
And I asked
Yep.
him too.
It's
Like,
the
hey,
feel.
will you guys play? Like, I have this specific chord structure.
Right.
That I'm working on.
Exactly.
You guys play that.
Yeah. Which,
Yep.
I mean, that kind of lends to what you were talking about earlier, where you're sitting there playing the dumb riff and you're about to fall asleep, and you're like, that thing just sucks. And then you hear it on the radio and you're like, oh, that's somebody else's smash hit. To me, it seems like when you start to work melodically, where you start to think about what to do behind a melody or a theme that you've got going, instead of just having a riff and trying to put something over the top of that, where you take the thing on the top and try to figure out what goes underneath it, it's a completely different world. And there's something that is a lot more advanced about how that works. So I appreciate it whenever I hear it. So thank you.
Right on.
Oh shit! I forgot we were on the same camera. I'm over here giving a stink eye to Travis. I was like, we're gonna be able to edit me out like
Ken
going
Burns it.
like this.
Yeah, Ken
Like
Burns it.
me and Eric are looking at each other
Pan
like.
scan.
Anyway, no. And then I realized, I don't have my own camera tonight.
No, but Brian, I know you know about that though.
No,
you do.
I
You do know
100%
about that.
understand what
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
saying, buddy. It's just I got to piss, so I'm trying to get out of this segment. So
So highbrow, lowbrow.
Or is it the Man on Brown Street? Did I mess it up again? It's the. I always forget thes.
It's all good.
You know,
the 1152.
The 1152.
Saying, man.
The last glimpse.
The 11.
We know what you're saying.
Did you say 311? I love that band. They have a rapper.
It's so good.
There's a rapper in that band.
There's actually a rapper in our opening band.
Yeah, it's
St.
great
Louis.
that you guys put a new song in the panel this month, and it's great because the last song you got to say "fuck" loud and proud twice.
Oh, man.
in that song.
Yeah, I think it was fucking.
Fucking.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
The Liars win the fucking war.
And every time
Yeah.
I hear it when I listen
Yeah.
to the show, I'm like,
Win the
oh,
fucking
they're
war,
going to
yeah.
say something about that, but they never did.
That's
How?
amazing.
I don't know.
Because they don't listen. That's the thing. They don't listen. They have no concern.
I'm so-
and somebody has to call and complain and be
I'm
like,
so
oh, I
proud
was
of
listening to the radio and it was just horrible.
My children heard it.
My children were here.
It was at midnight. Stop it.
They're having convulsions.
Yeah, if your kid is up listening to the 97X right now trying to learn their vocabulary, they've got bigger problems. All right?
Either that or they're very advanced students.
could be.
Yeah.
Doubt it.
I doubt it. It could be. It could be.
But that's awesome. I can't wait for your new record to be out so I can put a track off of that into the MDR Top Hits panel, and we'll see how that one fares. But I'm so glad you guys came in tonight and hung out with us. I've been waiting for this all week. I've been trying to nail it down. You guys are like divas. It's hard to get you here when we normally do shows.
Now, when
We
you
had
say
to-
all week, today is Monday.
Right, so I've been waiting all week.
What the fuck is wrong with
That's
this?
me. That's me being honest, Travis. Trying to have fun here.
You're ruining the fun.
I know. I'm a fun hater. I should just start an insurance company. Just fuck it all up.
So make sure you head up to Rascals on September 30th and check out 1152 and their CD release party. And also don't forget about the Minor Disturbance Radio All-Star Jam at Rascals on October 21st, because there may be a certain band that resembles 1152, but they're called Grey Pickle, and they'll be playing a few Metallica songs for you. So do not miss that. Thank you guys for coming in. Thanks, Eric. Thanks, Dusty. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Dickel. It was a good time, guys. I hope you guys sell the shit out of that record.
Yeah, I think you're gonna.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, we'll see you next Saturday at 8. This is Minor Disturbance Radio on 97X.
Yeah. Was that 4 hours?
Oh, shit. I said